Hey guys, SuperHorrorBro Mike here, and in today's video we are going to be talking about the Little Nightmares podcast, The Sounds of Nightmares. Now this podcast was revealed yesterday at the Gamescom opening night live, and with it the first 2 episodes went live on the internet on all major podcast platforms including YouTube. You may have already listened to these episodes, but if you haven't, I'm just going to play you a quick sample from one of them just to set the mood. And then after you've listened to that, I have a very special announcement to make about this podcast, and we're also going to be talking in more detail about it. So stay tuned for that, but for now, check out this preview.
Next on The Sounds of Nightmares.
Last night, in my dream, a muddled voice, and then I saw him.
An uncanny sense of deja vu, for Noon has seemingly encountered my Cece's very moment. I thought him lost forever.
I don't want to wear that.
You must. If you cannot remember specifics, then I cannot help you.
Now, I actually have an announcement to make about this podcast. So, about a year ago, Bandai Namco reached out to me, said they really loved the videos I make on Little Nightmares, the theories, the story explained, the looks into the world that I do, and because I had some knowledge on the game series, they would really like my input in writing some of this podcast. So I actually worked on one of the episodes, it's episode 2, obviously listen to the first one to begin with because it's a through-line story, they're not separate stories, but the episode that I wrote is the second episode and it's out today. So you can go and check that out. I'm going to talk a little bit about my process of working on this, as well as giving you an overview of what the show actually is. So to start with, I'm just going to read the PR statement from Bandai Namco, which gives a synopsis on what the show's all about. The Sounds of Nightmares is the first audio fiction series from a world of Little Nightmares. Noon, a timid girl, is committed to the county's psychiatric institute due to her ever-worsening nightmare disorder. She is placed under the care of a counsellor who has dedicated his life to helping kids overcome their ailments, himself a product of childhood trauma. As their sessions unfold, the counsellor's past and Noon's nightmares are destined to collide. New episodes every Tuesday from August 22nd through to September 19th, available on YouTube and all other podcast platforms in English, French, German, Spanish, and Italian. So obviously I'm not allowed to say too much about what the storyline of this podcast is. I only know parts of it myself. I don't know the full overall story to every detail, but I have got a general overview of what happens in it. As mentioned in that PR statement, the story takes place in a location known as the Counties, and this is basically where Noon and the counsellor Otto reside. And every night when Noon sleeps, she has a different nightmare, and the counsellor Otto is trying to get to the root of these nightmares and also basically trying to discover what happened to a certain character in his life and how their disappearance may be connected to the dreams that Noon is having. So basically his motivations are not completely selfless, he's looking to try and discover something about somebody who used to be in his life, who may have befallen a certain fate because of the nightmares they were having as well. So I can't say much more about the show for now, guys. I have to keep it cryptic, but if you are interested in the world of Little Nightmares, you'll really want to tune in for this because it's going to massively expand the universe and really explain a lot of things that have happened in the games and why they've happened. Now, the showrunner for this is a man called Lonnie Nadler, and Lonnie was basically kind of my mentor while writing, I guess you could say. I had to feed back all my different scripts, my different drafts of the script to him, and he would make little revisions and tweaks to them. He also wrote the general overview of the series, everything that happens between the counsellor and Noon in the doctor's office. So I worked off that template, and then I wrote the nightmare segment and fleshed out his synopsis of what happened in the doctor's office, in that particular episode. It was so cool being able to come up with ideas and write a script for Little Nightmares, basically designing my own nightmare scenario, creating my own monsters and writing characters and just creating an atmosphere to listen to on this podcast. So for my episode, if you've listened to it, you'll know this, I set it in a bathhouse, and I thought a bathhouse is a really cool location to set something within the world of Little Nightmares. It kind of fits, with that world. There's also this kind of boardwalk, this seaside town that leads up to the bathhouse. and everyone within this particular nightmare are sort of humanoid creatures desperately looking to keep clean, but because of their sinful actions, they're forever filthy in this place, and as much as they scrub themselves raw and expose their internal organs through scrubbing just all the skin off their body, they're still these disgusting, like, stinky wretches from all the kind of bad things that they've done. And I just thought it was a really cool concept. You know, they're always trying to get clean, but they never can, and they still continue to prey on anyone else around them. It's a nasty place, it's a wretched place, it's a place where people are used and come to this bathhouse trying to get clean, but they're just basically forever condemned to be these shuffling, stinky creatures. Also, they kind of arrive on these giant fish-like boats. I really liked that idea. I was trying to kind of make something that was similar to what you saw with Amor, but kind of put my own spin on it. So I made these aquatic fish-like boats that kind of creep up onto the shore. And you can kind of visualize it however you want, guys. That's the beauty of a podcast. But I did try and make it descriptive enough so that you can understand what you're seeing and kind of draw your own connections to it. And I'd be interested to see how people interpret this stuff. Obviously, I couldn't go too graphic with like the violence and the imagery in the episode because Little Nightmares is something that often suggests its cruelty rather than shows it. I think it's gnarly enough, but it's not like super graphic and violent. Although there is one scene in particular where if you're a little bit squeamish, it might make your skin crawl a bit, so I'm interested to see what people think of that. But anyway, guys, that's me talking about my episode and, you know, how it came to be, why I came up with the idea I did. Now, obviously, I wrote most of this episode. I wrote the full script for it. And then the showrunner, Lonnie, he basically took the script and fine-tuned it. And of course, I was working off a template that he wrote for the Doctor's office sequences, the sequences between the Councillor Otto and Noon. That was kind of like wrote out for me in broad strokes and I had to flesh it out. So yeah, I kind of got to write all the nightmare stuff and then expand the rest of the script. So it was a collaborative effort between me and Lonnie, but I'd say about 80% of what I wrote for the script of the episode is in there, which is pretty awesome. There's also some other writers involved. Lonnie wrote 2 of the episodes. Other episodes have been written by Eugene Myers and Supermassive Games, who are developing Little Nightmares 3, of course, as well as fellow YouTuber It's Just Jord, who wrote one of the episodes as well. I'm not sure which one he's written, but he's written one of the other episodes. So there we go, guys. Big announcement there. You're going to want to listen to this if you're a fan of Little Nightmares. Trust me, it contains so much lore about the universe. And also, I would like to hear what you think of my episode that I've written, if you like my ideas, if you like the way I wrote it. I'm hoping you will, though. I have actually listened to my episode, and the sound design is so good. The actors are so good in it, and really, they've just done an amazing job. I want to shout out a few people in this video. Obviously, Lonnie, who I wrote with, and he was just amazing to work with, really kind of understanding of the process and really helpful. Also, the show's producer, Elise, I worked with her. She was really, really kind and helpful the whole process. Easy to talk to, and whenever I needed to communicate, she would get right back to me. So she's been amazing. And Arnold as well, who works on the Little Nightmares games more than the podcast, but he has actually been my point of contact for Little Nightmares 3, and he has been amazing providing assets and kind of just answering any questions I had on the whole project. So there we go, guys. I wrote for the Little Nightmares podcast. I am now a writer on Little Nightmares, although only for this project. I'm not actually like hired beyond my work here. But it was so amazing that Bandai reached out and thought of me for this project, and they had seen my videos, they really liked them, and I never really think about like when I make videos that they're going to appeal to the people that make these games. I always kind of make them for you guys. So to have some of the people involved reach out and say, we love your work and would love you to work on this project we're making, this podcast, was just so amazing. It really was. And I've been keeping quiet about this for like a year. So it's just amazing that it's finally coming out. Once again, guys, it's called The Sounds of Nightmares. There's 6 episodes. The first 2 are out now, including the one I wrote. And yeah, go and check it out. I will leave a link down in the description below so you can go and do so as soon as the episodes go live, but I believe they are out now. I'm really excited by this announcement of a podcast and of course the new game Little Nightmares 3, because what it means is that Bandai is trying to basically take the series further now with this transmedia movement and tie in the podcast to the games, expand the world, expand the lore, give us way more stuff to theorize over and talk about. And of course it just means a bright future for the franchise, because if they're investing so much into the podcast of a new game, it probably means they're going to make more games beyond Little Nightmares 3. And basically what that means is the series should keep going for some years to come, which is really exciting, of course, for all of us as Little Nightmares fans. With that said, guys, this is the end of my video for today on the podcast. Really cool to be able to finally talk about this, and hopefully you have enjoyed listening to this video today and taking in all this information. Now I will be back later today with some additional details for Little Nightmares 3, so stay tuned for that. And also, if you did miss my reaction to the Little Nightmares 3 trailer, I was very excited. I uploaded a video yesterday where I kind of reacted to it and talked through like everything we see in that particular trailer, so you can go and check that out right now. It's on my channel, and you can probably find it, or I'll leave a link at the end of this video or something. But yeah guys, it's kind of overwhelming how awesome this has been, all these announcements at Gamescom, and to be part of them was just really crazy. But I should really wrap this video up, so let's do that now. If you have enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, comment down below, and of course subscribe for more videos just like this one, and I will see you all on the next one.